Hello everyone, this is DaveNader12 here and welcome to another video. In this video, we will be reviewing and talking about the movie titled Baoh the Visitor from 1989. Now, if you don't know who or what is Baoh, let me explain. The legendary mangaka Hirohiko Araki wrote his most famous series JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the late 1980s. He was writing a story before, then focusing more on action and gore. The manga series was titled Baoh. I first encountered Baoh in the game JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. I was so confused not only because this individual could turn into a weird monster, but because he felt very at home in this particular fighting game. I did more research on the character and found out that the original manga run of Baoh was released in Shonen Jump in the year 1984 to 1985. In the original manga, you can tell that Araki was experimenting with other concepts for his stories. If you are a regular here, you know that we briefly touched upon Baoh in my Rohan Kishibe and the Multiverse video. Here in this video, we will be covering the 1989 film adaptation of Baoh based on Araki's manga. Before we begin, I do want to say that there will be spoilers for this movie, and go give it a watch if you haven't watched it. There will be a link to the movie here on YouTube in the description below. The movie starts off with a woman and two men on a train chasing after a little girl and her flying squirrel named Natsuo. I believe it's a flying squirrel anyway. While they are chasing her, the 9-year-old girl ends up in a cable car where they are holding a mysterious person hostage. The girl named Sumiri has a special psychic powers. We find out that this organization has some ties with the military. The entrance of the little girl awakens the man in the liquefied capsule. They try to keep him in, but he escapes the capsule. Bane moment. The man takes off his mask, breaks a guy's arm, and jumps off the train into some power lines and gets electrocuted. Sumiri and the young man escape, and Sumiri gets food for him. We see that the young man looks normal. The name of their organization is Dores, and they do experiments. The name of the young man is discovered to be Ikuro. It appears he has memory loss. During their time outside, it seems like they are already being spied, shot, and chased by the evil organization. Sumiri tells Ikuro her sad backstory, that she was an orphan. It seems like Sumiri doesn't have full control of her powers and she has premonition. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they refer to Ikuro as Baoh for a reason that is explained later. They escape from the organization for the time being. Ikuro and Sumiri become close friends. I can really see that Araki has always included a sidekick or a young child character to contrast the seriousness of his stories, which we see with at least one character under 18 in each part. I personally really like that the HQ for Dores is on a cliffside. We cut to the explanation of what Baoh is to a series of important individuals. And of course, Araki must torture another dog to do so. So basically, Baoh is a series of evolutionary stages accelerated at a rapid pace. I'm not going to lie to you though, the Baoh dog design goes hard on so many levels. We see that the Baoh process activates with agitation, fighting instinct, or danger. They literally bring in a tiger to fight the dog and the dog gets fucked. However, it transforms into Baoh. Baoh exerts more destructive power when the attack is made on its body. When they talk about Baoh's phenomenons, it's basically the special powers Baoh has. There's a big battle in the gas station where we first see Ikuro's Baoh transformation and what it can do. The gas station blows up while Baoh kills the assassin and saves Sumiri. It cuts back to the Baoh dog and they kill it. Of course. It is shown to us to kill Baoh, one must destroy the brain, then burn the body. Very similar on how to kill a vampire in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We find out Baoh is actually a living parasite that infiltrates the brain of a living creature. One must fully burn this parasite to kill Baoh. We also find out that the biggest problem for creatures with a Baoh parasite is that when it fully matures, no creature is able to control the outburst of power brought forth from the parasite. Or it's really hard to. Of course, the organization Dores wants to harness the power of Baoh for military purposes and for monetary gain. Ikuro, however, has memory loss when in Baoh mode. We get Ikuro's backstory when they planned a traffic accident to use Ikuro for the Baoh experiment. Ikuro Hashizawa is 17 and both get surrounded. Ikuro fights off a group of militaries in a very big abandoned building. It was very gory. We can see Araki's experimentation with how much gore he adds in his story here. My favorite shot of the whole movie is when he looks at himself in the mirror. Terminator kidnaps Sumeri. Ikuro goes after his tortured friend, destroying helicopters on the way. In the base of duress, Baoh finds himself face to face with the final boss. His name is Walken, a buff Native American psychic. We also see the over-explanation phenomenon here in this movie too, which I really like. Walken is overpowered, that's all I'll say. I love how Baoh yells Baoh like a Pokemon or like Jotaro's auras. Baoh cuts off his arm. Then he reattaches his arm. Ikuro saves Sumeri before they detonate the whole lab to get Baoh. They also use lasers to try to get him. After blowing up the whole building, the final battle occurs in the caves underneath the building. To win the fight, Baoh uses one of the lasers to kill Walken. He cuts him in half. Two evil scientists die in the process, showing us that Araki has always believed in gender equality, even before Konosuba. The movie ends with a prologue of Sumeri talking about the return of Baoh when she turned 17. Wink wink. We see Ikuro at the bottom of the ocean sleeping and the movie ends. The ending song was pretty chill too. I give the movie a solid 8 out of 10. Even though it's an old movie, I really enjoyed how quick and spacious the movie felt. A little bit of character development here and there as well. Now I haven't read the manga yet, so I don't really know the differences or if it was better, but I believe the movie was a good representation of the story regardless. I know you probably heard all the details on how Araki learned from the story from other JoJo tubers, but I'll talk about something different quickly. This was my second time watching this movie, and I remember enjoying it from my first view. When thinking about Araki's other works, this is by far my favorite apart from Thus Spoke Kishibe Rohan. I can only hope after the anime for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure finishes, we'll see a remaster of Baoh into show form. I think it would be a good idea. Also, when thinking about Baoh and how he isn't a forgotten Araki character, I cannot get the idea out of my head of including both Ikuro and Sumeri as a cameo into JoJo lands. You know how cool that would be? Or even have Ikuro as an ally sometime in the part in Hawaii? I don't know where Baoh takes place in, but it sure looks like California, not going to lie to you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you haven't watched the movie, go check it out since I left a lot of details and parts out. This has been DaveNader12 signing off.
You're too slow!
We are Venom.